The Galactic Council chamber floated in open space, larger than any city on Earth. Its walls were made of crystal metal that reflected stars like mirrors. Hundreds of alien species were present. Some were tall and thin, others wide and heavy, some glowing, some covered in armor. This place decided the fate of civilizations. Today was different. Today was humanity's first contact with the wider galaxy. Many of the council members did not take it seriously. "They are late," one alien elder said, his voice echoing through the chamber, as expected from a primitive species. Another delegate laughed softly. "They only discovered faster than light travel a few centuries ago. They should be grateful we even invited them." Screens around the chamber showed the arrival gate. Small ships from many worlds waited nearby. Massive cruisers, elegant war vessels, ships that looked like moving cities. Then a single human ship appeared. It was small, gray, simple, no glowing weapons, no heavy armor. The laughter grew louder. "That is it?" a reptilian commander asked. "That tiny thing represents their entire species." The human ship docked quietly. No music, no display of power, just silence. A few moments later, the human delegation entered the chamber. They were fewer than expected, just 6 humans. They wore dark uniforms, with no medals, no crowns, no visible weapons. They walked calmly to the center platform. The human ambassador stepped forward. He was older, his hair gray, his face tired but steady. He looked around the chamber, meeting many eyes without fear. "Representatives of the Galactic Council," he said in clear, calm English translated instantly across the chamber. "Thank you for allowing humanity to speak." Some delegates listened. Most did not. "You should be honored to stand here." An alien admiral interrupted. "Many species never reached this room." The human ambassador nodded. "We understand." Another council member leaned forward. "Tell us, human, why did you come? Trade, protection, or surrender?" A few delegates laughed again. The ambassador did not react. He folded his hands behind his back. "We came," he said, "because first contact matters, and because silence can be dangerous." That caught some attention. The alien admiral narrowed his eyes. "Are you warning us?" "No," the human replied. "We are informing you." The chamber grew quieter. A crystalline being spoke next. "Your species is young, weak. You have no major fleets registered, no defensive zones recognized by this council. What value do you offer?" The human ambassador took a breath. "We offer restraint," he said, "and responsibility." That answer confused them. Before anyone could respond, a sudden alert echoed through the chamber. "Warning. Unknown mass detected." Screens shifted. Long-range sensors activated. Space behind the council station began to darken. Not from shadow, from size. Something enormous was moving. Slowly, silently, alien technicians shouted reports. "Mass readings increasing? That is impossible. Nothing should be that large. Sensor range failing." The human delegation did not move. The object emerged from hyperspace. It was not a ship. It was a structure longer than continents, wider than moons, covered in layered armor that looked like carved stone and steel combined. No glowing engines, no visible weapons, just presence. The chamber fell completely silent. Even the most powerful alien warships nearby looked small in comparison. The Titanus warship drifted into position behind the human ship like a mountain choosing where to rest. No weapons activated. No shields flared. It simply waited. Fear spread through the council like cold air. "What is that?" someone whispered. The alien admiral stood slowly. "Human ambassador," he said, his voice no longer confident. "Explain now." The ambassador finally turned and looked at the massive warship on the screen. "That," he said quietly, "is why we stayed silent for so long." The crystalline delegate's voice shook. "Is it a weapon?" "It is a guardian," the human replied. Several council members began arguing at once. "You hid this. This violates every known treaty. How many do you have?" The ambassador raised one hand. "We did not come to threaten," he said. "We came to prevent misunderstanding." The alien admiral swallowed. "Is that your only ship?" The human ambassador looked back at the screen. Then he answered. "No," he said. "It is only the one we allowed you to see." The chamber froze, and the galaxy realized that first contact had already changed everything. Asterisk. The Galactic Council chamber did not return to normal after the human ambassador's words. Silence stayed, not the calm kind. The heavy kind. Alien delegates whispered to each other. Military leaders checked their data again and again, hoping the readings were wrong. They were not. The Titanus warship remained where it was, unmoving, silent, and impossibly large. The human delegation stood still. They did not smile. They did not threaten. They did not celebrate. That made it worse. The alien admiral broke the silence at last. His voice was lower now. "Careful. You brought a weapon of extinction into a diplomatic zone." The human ambassador slowly shook his head. "No," he said. "We brought a reminder." "A reminder of what?" the admiral asked. The ambassador looked around the chamber. He did not raise his voice. "A reminder that survival teaches lessons. Power never does." Some council members listened closely now. Others did not like what they were. Hearing a tall insect-light delegate leaned forward. "Your species was classified as low risk. No expansion history. No galactic wars. No empire. Why hide this?" The ambassador did not answer immediately. Instead, he activated a small HOL display. Images appeared in the center of the chamber, earning cities. Broken planets, refugee ships, drifting through space, human faces marked by loss. "This," the ambassador said, "is our past." The images shifted. Human fleets fighting each other. Entire worlds destroyed by human hands. Technology used without restraint. Power. Chasing power. We nearly erased ourselves. He continued, "Not once. Many times the chamber stayed quiet. We learned something important." The ambassador said, "Strength without restraint is not civilization. It is extinction waiting to happen." The images changed again. Human colonies rebuilding, laws forming, fleets being dismantled, weapons locked away, and a final image appeared. A blueprint. The Titan-class warship. "This was not built to conquer," the ambassador said. "It was built because we were afraid." The alien admiral narrowed his eyes. "Afraid of us?" The ambassador shook his head. "Afraid clears throat of becoming who we once were." That answer unsettled many in the chamber. A mechanical council member spoke, its voice flat. "Your explanation does not justify secrecy." "You are correct," the ambassador replied. "It explains it." He turned slightly, his gaze steady. "We observed the galaxy for centuries, watched empires rise, watched them fall. We noticed a pattern." "What pattern?" a council elder asked. "Every species that revealed its full strength early," the ambassador said, "was forced to use it." The holo display shifted again. Images of alien civilizations destroyed by endless war, borders that never stopped moving, fleets that never stood down. Once the galaxy sees power, the ambassador said it demands it be used. The Titan-class warship remained silent behind them. "We chose a different path," he continued. "We hid. We listened. We waited." A hostile voice echoed from the chamber. "You waited until you could dominate us." The ambassador turned toward the voice. "No," he said calmly. "We waited until we could trust ourselves." That answer angered some delegates. A warlord species stood, claws gripping the platform. "You expect us to believe the ship is peaceful?" The ambassador looked at the massive vessel on the screen. "It has weapons," he admitted. "Enough to end fleets, enough to break planets." Gasps spread through the chamber. "But it has only fired them once," he added. When the alien admiral demanded, the ambassador paused. "When a force entered our space that did not communicate," he said, "did not negotiate, did not retreat." The chamber grew tense. "What happened to that force?" Someone asked that the ambassador lowered his eyes. "It no longer exists." Fear moved openly now, but we did not celebrate, he said. We mourned because that day proved our greatest fear. And what fear is that? The admiral asked quietly. Back one day, the ambassador said, we would be forced to remind the galaxy why we built guardians instead of empires. A new alert sounded, not from the council station, from deep space. Unidentified fleet signatures appeared on the outer sensors. Multiple ships armed, advancing. The alien admiral turned sharply. Those are not council vessels. The human ambassador did not look surprised. He only spoke one sentence. This, he said, is why we finally stopped hiding. The Titan-class warship powered up for the first time, and the galaxy held its breath. The unidentified fleet did not slow down. Its ships were sharp and aggressive in design, covered in exposed weapons and glowing engines. They moved with confidence, as if the council space already belonged to them. Their formation was tight, practiced, and ready for war. The Galactic Council erupted into chaos. Identify those vessels. They are ignoring hails. That is a war fleet. Security forces scrambled. Defensive platforms began to activate, but everyone in the chamber knew the truth. If that fleet attacked, the council station would not survive long. All eyes turned to the humans. The human ambassador stood still, watching the censored data scroll across the holo display. His expression did not change. They were watching this meeting, he said calmly. Waiting. The alien admiral clenched his fists. Waiting for what? For fear, the ambassador replied. Fear makes poor decisions predictable. The hostile fleet transmitted a message at last. Their leader appeared on the screen, his species tall and armored, eyes burning with hunger for dominance. We claim this sector, the warlord declared. Withdraw your fleets and surrender the human vessel. The chamber went silent again. The warlord continued, his gaze fixed on the image of the Titanus warship behind the humans. That structure belongs to us now. Some council members looked at the human ambassador expecting anger. He showed none. We will not surrender, the ambassador said. Nor will we fight you. The warlord laughed. There is no third option. The ambassador turned slightly toward the holo display of the Titan-class warship. There is, he said. Restraint, the warlord sneered. Prove it. The hostile fleet opened fire. Energy beams and kinetic rounds stir across space toward the Titanus warship. The chamber filled with alarms and shocked voices. The attacks hit and disappeared. The warship's surface absorbed the impact without a mark. No shields flared. No counterfire followed. The hostile fleet paused, confused. Fire again, the warlord shouted. A second barrage struck. Again, nothing. The Titan-class warship remained silent, unmoved, as if the attacks were rain falling on stone. Fear replaced confidence in the warlord's eyes. Scan it, he ordered. The scan results came back instantly and terrified his fleet. The Titan-class warship had not raised shields. It did not need them. The human ambassador spoke softly, almost sadly. It is not ignoring you, he said. It is protecting us from you. The Titanus warship moved for the first time. Not forward, upward. Space around it bent slightly, like heat above fire. The hostile ships began to drift, their formations breaking apart. What is happening? The warlord shouted. His ship slowed, then stopped. They were caught. Gravity itself had turned against them. The Titanus warship had activated a Clear's Throat containment field, one designed to freeze movement without tearing ships apart. Weapons on a hostile fleet powered down against their will. Engines went silent. No explosions, no screams, only control. The Galactic Council watched in stunned silence. They could have destroyed them. A council elder whispered. They chose not to, another replied. The human ambassador addressed the chamber. This is why we waited, he said. Because power that cannot stop itself is not protection. It is terror. The warlord's image returned to the screen, his voice shaking now. Release us, he demanded. Name your price. The ambassador met his gaze. Leave, he said, and do not return. The containment field slowly disengaged. The hostile fleet regained control. Their ships did not fire again. They turned and fled, engines burning at maximum output. The Titanus warship did not chase them. It did not even track them. It powered down and returned to silence. The chamber exhaled as one. The alien admiral turned to the human ambassador, his voice low and honest. "You ended a war without firing a shot." The ambassador nodded. "We have learned," he said, "that the greatest strength is knowing when not to use force." The council members looked at the humans differently. Now, not as weak newcomers, but as something far more dangerous. A species that could destroy them and chose not to. But deep in space, far beyond council sensors, something ancient stirred. And the Titanus warship began receiving signals only humans could understand. The Titan-class warship did not react to the signals at once. To the Galactic Council, it seemed calm again, silent and still, as if nothing had happened. But inside the vessel, systems older than most civilizations were waking up. Human-made systems designed not for conquest, but for warning. The human ambassador felt it before the others noticed. A quiet vibration under his feet, a change in the air. He closed his eyes for a brief moment. "It has begun," he said. The alien admiral turned sharply. "What has begun?" The ambassador opened his eyes and looked at the chamber. "The reason we built guardians instead of empires?" Confusion spread across the council. A council elder spoke nervously. "You said the Titan-class warship was for protection. From what?" The ambassador raised his hand, and the hollow display changed once more. This time, the images were not human. They were not alien either. Entire star systems gone dark. Gravity torn apart. Ships crushed as if they were dust. "This threat does not negotiate." The ambassador said, "It does not conquer. It erases." The chamber felt colder. "We encountered it long before we met any of you," continued. "A force older than recorded history. It moves slowly, but it never stops." A crystal-end delegate whispered. "Why did we never detect it?" "Because it hunts energy," the ambassador replied. "And until recently, the galaxy was quiet." The alien admiral understood at once. First contact made noise. "Yes," the ambassador said, "and noise attracts attention." Fear rippled openly now. "You brought this danger here?" a delegate accused. The ambassador did not deny it. "Yes," he said, "which is why we stayed hidden for so long." The Titan-class warship finally responded. A deep pulse traveled through space, invisible but powerful. Long-range sensors across the council stations screamed warnings. Multiple distant anomalies appeared. Not fleets, not ships, voids, places where stars should exist, but did not. The alien admiral's voice dropped to a whisper. "How long do we have?" The ambassador answered honestly. "Years," he said. "If we are lucky." Panic threatened to break the chamber, but the human raised his voice slightly. "We did not reveal ourselves to rule you," he said. "We revealed ourselves because no species should face extinction alone." The hollow display shifted again. Human fleets, not armadas of domination, but lines of defense. Titan-class warships, smaller guardians, support vessels. "We will stand at the edge," the ambassador said. "Where the dark comes from?" A council elder asked. "And what do you ask in return?" The ambassador looked around the chamber, meeting every gaze. "Nothing," he said, "except that you do not stand in our way." Silence followed. Then, one by one, alien representatives lowered their heads. The alien admiral stepped forward. "The Galactic Council recognizes humanity," he said slowly. "As a protector species," the declaration echoed through the chamber. The Titan-class warship powered its engines gently, preparing to depart. Before leaving, it transmitted a single message across all known frequencies. Not a threat, a promise. Humanity stands watch. As the massive vessel vanished into hyperspace, the galaxy understood the truth. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was not late. Humanity had been holding the line long before anyone knew there was a war coming, and now the galaxy would survive because of it.